Hey, what's up everybody? It's the Crypto Ginger here. Just wanted to quickly go over some of the more recent news, and of course, I wanted to start this off by giving a huge shout out to the XRP Zoo for having me on their channel yesterday. If you are not following them, definitely give them a follow, XRP Zoo. These guys are awesome when it comes to, having people to talk to in the community, gaining some information, at least from their insight, what they've learned, what their knowledge is all about. So definitely, please definitely give these guys a follow. You can easily see here that there's at least the four that I'm familiar with: Kickboy Triple, James Malpass, Rob Cash, and of course 1000 Bones XRP. Great guys for sure. And of course we had Bob Moneybags on the show just as well yesterday. So very entertaining. I would definitely suggest coming here, and you can actually go right down here to where it says XRP Zoo with Crypto Ginger, and this right here is the live stream. So definitely give them a follow. Like I said, go watch that particular video there. It's a little long, but that's the way these guys like to do it. They like to get comfortable with the conversations when it comes to XRP and Ripple. Again, great guys to watch, and just another channel for everybody to gain some information from. So again, thanks again guys, I really appreciate it. On to some of the news here that we actually talked about, which has been a very big talking point, is some of the news coming out when it comes to mainstream media. Now, this right here has definitely been going widespread when it comes to Steve Mnuchin coming out, having a public briefing on cryptocurrencies and the regulations of cryptocurrencies. And of course, just a couple of the key words that we were hearing when it comes to part of this speech here were names such as MoneyGram and PayPal, and of course, digital assets. I think that there was still the emphasis that cryptocurrencies and Bitcoin are really not a strong focal point for Congress. But again, when you're starting to hear some of those key words that Ripple has already been associated with, that is absolutely huge. And obviously as well, we keep hearing the terminology level playing field. This is absolutely huge when it comes to a lot of these same correlated people here. When it comes to, Brad Garlinghouse has mentioned it, President Trump has mentioned it, Christine Lagarde's mentioned it, now we got Steve Mnuchin. I mean, there's so many people actually saying that same terminology, level playing field. And of course, anybody can take that reference there and apply it to whatever they want when it comes to finances. But we're dealing with, this particular old way of fiat system coming into this digital realm. This right here is a terminology that is going to be a focal point for those fintech companies that actually can do the job to merge those two worlds together. And Ripple is already at the forefront of this, especially when it comes to their reach for all of the banks and financial institutions that they're trying to have get on board with RippleNet, for example, and Xcurrent, and merge into Xrapid. I mean, there's just so many opportunities for Ripple and all of these banks and financial institutions, all of these exchanges, corporate players out there. And now we're seeing again people in the actual mainstream media, actually more or less coming out from politics side of things, taking a stance on cryptocurrencies, how they feel about Bitcoin and even Libra coin. And now we're hearing at least some of the talking points again about level playing field, digital assets, and then of course again some of those companies that have already made affiliations with Ripple, such as MoneyGram. So something that I would suggest you guys doing here, you can find this particular video pretty much anywhere. Again, it's Steve Mnuchin talking about this. I'm just so happy to use a particular screenshot here from Stuart XRP. He's definitely another follow when it comes to being a part of the XRP community. But you can see these types of videos everywhere. They're just little clips here and there, but they're of the more important pieces that Steve Mnuchin was talking about there. Something else that was actually highlighted that we talked about on XRP Zoo that I wanted to make sure we're emphasizing just as well. This right here all came out right after we heard Donald Trump, the President of the United States, talking about his feelings towards Bitcoin, cryptocurrencies, the Libra coin. And of course, we heard from Brad Garlinghouse in response to Steve Mnuchin just as well. As a matter of fact, here we have the thread from Brad Garlinghouse speaking about his particular stance right after Steve Mnuchin's press conference. And he really kind of tackles a lot of the things that were in that press conference, and also related to what Brad Garlinghouse has been saying for the last couple of years related to Ripple, the company. One of the things he specifies here that I think is kind of a safe approach for him, especially knowing his relationship with a lot of the financial institutions out there, IMF, World Bank. I mean, he's met with quite a bit of the biggest people in that industry there. So him saying this right here, he says, I agree that crypto isn't likely to replace the fiat currencies. I have been very vocal that crypto isn't likely to disrupt the US dollar and other cryptocurrencies from the G20 in his lifetime. So again, I think it's very important he's saying that. It kind of keeps him safe there. But as well, Brad Garlinghouse has been very vocal about the fact that XRP is not only this digital asset, but it's a bridge asset. It's going to allow for the Internet of Value to be transferred through it. So really anything that becomes tokenized, whether it's fiat currency or anything really, insurance, loans, you name it, if it can be tokenized, it can actually be processed through a bridge asset such as XRP. And that's really a primary focus for that type of digital asset there. Something else he specified here that I thought was pretty interesting. He says XRP is uniquely equipped to solve a multi-trillion-dollar problem. We've most certainly heard about that. By offering a dramatically faster and cheaper bridge for cross-border payments. So we just spoke about that. There's going to be this bridge method there, this bridge asset that allows things to be transferred back and forth. He goes further to say that Ripple already works with regulators, banks, and financial institutions like MoneyGram to implement around the world. And of course, he's specifying MoneyGram just like Steve Mnuchin did. Now, of course, Steve Mnuchin could have mentioned really any of those names, but he was very specific about MoneyGram. So whether or not he's hinting to the public on something regarding Ripple or XRP, that could be on a side note. The fact is that these guys right here, all of these higher ups are on the same page when it comes to what's happening, again, with this new world merging together with the fiat currency old system. So again, it's something that's very important when it comes to what we're reading here, what we're gathering from the Congress, from people such as Steve Mnuchin, the president, Donald Trump, and of course other countries that are looking at digital currencies as this new means, this new haven for transfer of value. Something I wanted to end on here that Brad Garlinghouse said that I think we should all be paying attention to. He says, I hope there's no ignoring, laughing, or fighting as it relates to regulations of crypto. If we want to maximize progress forward, it's about working with the existing financial systems, not against it. If not, we risk squashing innovation here in the U.S. and letting foreign interests take control of this new sector of our global economy. We have definitely heard about that plenty times in the past, and that is a very big focal point when it comes to the United States, getting some sort of regulatory clarity on your cryptocurrencies, your digital assets out there. And of course, if we don't, we absolutely run that risk of losing this kind of fintech innovations that could be actually very beneficial for everyone, especially these major companies that can transfer value back and forth in a flash. So again, this right here, a very, very big, strong focal point, a very big talking point right now, and I would definitely like to see how this is actually going to expand out when it comes to, again, merging these two worlds, the fiat currency world and this new digital cryptocurrency world as well. So let me know what you guys think about this information. There's most certainly a lot to this and a lot to take in, and of course, you know, a lot of people in the XRP community have most certainly seen little hints here and there when it comes to how these press conferences are being presented to the public and what they're saying, and again, these keywords being used. So whether or not they are very much talking about XRP or not at all talking about XRP is really something left to be you know, up in the air, and it's an argument that anybody can have at this point in time. But at least the talking point is coming out to the public, and the public is becoming more and more aware. President Trump talking about his disdain for Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies and Libra coin. That right there was a good thing in regards to how many people just got reference to this position there from the president about cryptocurrencies. He was speaking to roughly around 63.1 million people on Twitter alone. That is substantially huge. That's a good chunk of the United States when it comes to that population. So you have to understand, this right here is something globally, worldwide, this getting this information. This right here, again, is very, very big when it comes to what can happen on a global scale. So again, let me know what you guys think about this information here. A couple other things I wanted to quickly go over as well. Now, another talking point, major focal point at this point in time in the XRP community is whether or not SBI VC is going to be going live anytime soon. The last date that I'd actually been referenced on when it comes to them possibly going live is actually today, and the reason why is because we're getting close to, I believe, the 20th year anniversary mark for SBI, and I believe also as well, yesterday was actually a Japanese holiday from my understanding, so they were not open on the weekend, obviously so. Then, of course, yesterday they were closed closed for the holiday. Today could be that day. That is still up in the air with some of the things that I have seen. I'll show you here in just a second. But here we have someone in the XRP community by XRP Market. It looks as though they actually wrote out to SBI VC regarding when they're going to have their live scheduled. And it looks as though they got a response. Now, I can't validate whether or not this is completely 100% true or whether or not this is completely legitimate, but it's definitely gotten the response from the XRP community as something that could possibly be legit. But the response from SBI VC is that regarding your inquiry, SBI VC trades crypto asset OTC trading services currently available for XRP, Bitcoin, and Ethereum. Meanwhile, SBI VC trades exchange services planned to be launched this July. That's really the primary focal point there when it comes to, again, when it's going to go live, but it doesn't specify the actual date, just the month. It does go further to say that for your information, SBI VC Trade offers its services exclusively for individuals living in Japan with a limit of 70,000 XRP or the Japan yen for 5 million per order. Now, of course, this right here is something that, again, you have to take with a grain of salt. You have to understand that there is a good possibility it could be going live today. But again, some of the more controversial things I've seen when it comes to whether or not it happens to go today, I believe, is all based off of the latest thing I saw from SBI VC. So here we have a post directly from SBI VC Trade on Twitter where we can see that it's in Japanese character, but if we go to translate tweet, specifies that temporary service suspension due to system maintenance. This happens to be on the 20th of July, which is a Saturday, which will happen from 6 until 10. Then they also specify something important. It says the above schedule is planned but may be extended or shortened. So guys, please keep in mind that at least at this point in time, there isn't anything that I can find that's set in stone that it will go live today. And especially now that we're seeing they're going to be going through a system maintenance on the 20th of July, this could actually be extended all the way until past the July 20th date. And I've definitely been seeing posts when it comes to the following Monday. So guys, I'm not exactly sure how to interpret this other than we should be seeing something go live relatively soon with SBI VC Trade. And of course, if it doesn't go live, I would imagine we're going to see some hysteria in the XRP community. But SBI VC's been pretty good about making posts when it comes to their announcements and things of that nature. Whether it's an announcement of an announcement, it doesn't matter. Jokingly, we're definitely seeing them respond to the public, which is very good. So let's keep our eyes and ears out for this right here, guys. I don't know exactly how this is going to unfold. And of course, I don't have a full set time frame of when this is going to go live. But if I do find that out, I'll make sure to at least alert everybody there so we can all be on the same page, because this right here could actually be a very good catalyst for XRP. Whether or not it's going to have a major impact on the price, I'm not exactly sure it's going to be that effective right now. We definitely still need a lot more liquidity in the market. We also need a lot more focal points when it comes to these banks and financial institutions starting to utilize XRP or XRapid, but we need to make sure that we are having that utilization taking place as well. So again, be on the lookout for any news that's coming out when it comes to SBI VC Trade going live. And again, if I see anything, I will most certainly let you guys know. Outside of that, guys, thanks again for watching. Again, please give XRP Zoo a follow. Those guys are awesome, and they have some really good knowledge there. We're all on the same page when it comes to the XRP community. Really, any community that you're part of when it comes to your favorite altcoin or even Bitcoin, we're all in this together. And I think that we can actually share this entire space together. There's not really that much room for a lot of hate when it comes to this right here, because we can all prosper from this. We're all early adopters. So again, something to consider there, guys. If you are new to this channel, please hit the like and subscribe button. That would be awesome as well. And of course, be on the lookout for new videos. Outside of that, thanks again for watching, guys. Bye-bye.